Hello and welcome to Jericho's Infusion, where we infuse the shared joy of creativity and innovation into our everyday meals. Today, I am going to be showing you how to make this Nigerian palm oil pepper stew. This is a sauce stew like for rice, yams, potato fries, or whatever, and we're making this with palm oil and without tomatoes. Let's get started. For this recipe, we're going to be needing one purple onion, some shambo, that's chili peppers, and then some tatashi. And these are the small tatashi because I think that's what you find available mostly during the raining seasons. For my protein, I got some shaki, I got beef, liver, and pomo. You can use fish and it will be fantastic. In fact, sometimes I use fish, whatever fish available, and it's so delicious. Pepper stew is one of the best things that can happen to your taste buds down here in Nigeria. Those who know. So we are going to go ahead and start prepping our meat, and all my protein, they are frozen, so I'm going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. So for your bomo in this recipe is actually very nice. This was like my go-to stew when I was pregnant and somebody was selling it in the office, and they sell it everywhere. You can serve this with yam. You can serve this with rice, but I was always eating this with some rice and some beans, and I loved it almost on a daily basis anytime I went to the office. Okay, so now you're going to use some liver. You can use anything like I said. So I've cut up all my protein, and this shaki had already been cut up into pieces. That's one thing I love about this pepper sauce. It's so easy to make. Now we are going to proceed and start cooking all of our protein, and the reason why I cut them this way is going to make reduce the length of the cooking process because of the sizes. And the idea is when you're enjoying your stew, you don't have to struggle with chewing the meat. It makes all the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and season this lightly with just some salt and seasoning cubes and some onions. I went in with some thyme, which is completely optional because this is like a local kind of stew, and some dried pepper. Now I am going to just add a little water so that the meat will just steam in its juices, and I will also like to extract some of that water to use for my stock. So while our meat is on fire cooking, I am going to go ahead and prep the rest of my vegetables. And here I got my onions. I am going to cut them and set aside. So I'm dividing those onions into two. I'm going to blend some with the peppers, and some of them I will use for frying. So now you want to prep your peppers, and this is not spicy. So we are just going to remove the seeds because this can be bitter. This is the tatashi. It's a local tatashi. It's basically a local kind of bell pepper that we use in our stews here in Nigeria. If you have the bell peppers, you can use that in its place. So I have prepped all of them, and we're going to proceed and blend them with the shambo. For the shambo, I didn't remove the seeds because it will form the base of my heat. So I blended it roughly to look something like this. You don't want it to have a smooth consistency. This is what we are looking for. Look how rich, red, vibrant, and beautiful it's looking already. And using a lot of tatashi for this recipe will make sure that your stew tastes amazing. So I went in to check my meat, and it is nice and soft. So I am going to take that out of the heat and set aside, and we will proceed to assemble the stew together. And friends and family. If this is your first time of stopping by my channel, a very well welcome to you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please consider being a part of this family by clicking on the subscribe button, okay? Here, you never run out of ideas in your kitchen. So next, we are going to go ahead and in a pot on fire on medium heat, I added some palm oil and some vegetable oil. It's so crucial to combine the two because the vegetable oil will soften the stew a bit, and then we are going to let it fry up a bit and add our onions and fry it until it is lightly caramelized. Now, one of the secret ingredients for this Nigerian pepper stew is this iru. Yes, iru gives it a fantastic flavor, and it's naturally sweet, so anytime you use it for any recipe, it always adds to the sweetness and deliciousness and flavor. Now I am seasoning my onions with some salt, and this is going to ensure that the oil and the onions are well seasoned. The stew is actually a very, very tasty stew. It is one of the easiest stew you can make, but yet it has a lot of promise. And once it has fried and caramelized a bit, we are going to just pour in our blended peppers. It's that easy. And at the same time, I am not exactly waiting for the stew to finish frying. Look at all my meat. I am going to incorporate it all at the same time with the tomatoes, with the peppers. And now the reason why I'm doing this is because it will all cook and fry up nicely together, and I will season all of it, so it's just going to get ready at once. So once it cooks up, all the flavors, if you make it this way, the flavors from the stew and the meat and everything will infuse so beautifully. When you're chewing your meat, it's so flavorful. When you're eating your stew, it's so flavorful, and this is just fantastic. After about cooking and frying for about 30 to 40 minutes, this is what we have. Just look at how beautiful, and it smells amazing. Soft, tender protein floating in it. If you had used fish, this is the point at which you will incorporate or implicate your fish. Look, and then once the oil has risen to the top like this, you will know that your stew is almost ready. This is a pot of deliciousness. I hope you enjoyed watching this recipe, and I do hope that you're going to give this recipe a try, because I assure you, you will love it. I assure you that your family will love it. Feel free to adjust the level of the heat. You can use less peppers, you can use more peppers, but this is purely pepper stew, no tomatoes added to it, okay? And this is a treat. This is the stew. So I'm just letting this fry some more, because the more it fries, the more flavorful it becomes. Ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful people, Joruka Squared, I present to you our Nigerian pepper stew. Come and join me. Thank you so much for watching.